Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in American numismatic history, the 1960 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny. This little copper coin, once casually dropped into pockets and jars across the country, is now shaking the coin world with a staggering market value of up to $87,465. That's right. A single penny, just 1 cent, could be worth more than a luxury car or even a down payment on a house. But what makes the 1960 D penny so special? Why is it selling for such an astronomical price? And how can you tell if the one you have could be a jackpot coin? Stay with me because we're about to uncover all of it, from the coin's history to the hidden errors, to the shocking auction prices that are making headlines across the country. Let's start with the basics. The 1960 Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Cent, was minted during a time of economic growth in the United States. The obverse, or front, features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that first appeared in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But in 1959, the reverse of the coin was changed from the original wheat stalks to the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., to commemorate the 150th anniversary of his birth. This design change introduced a whole new era for the penny. Now, let's zoom in on the 1960 D variety. The D stands for Denver, where this specific coin was minted. That year, the U.S. Mint struck over 1.5 billion pennies between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. So, with that many coins in circulation, you're probably wondering, why would one of them be worth over $87,000 today? The answer lies in something collectors call the small date and large date varieties. In 1960, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints released pennies with subtle differences in the way the date appeared. The small date variety has thinner numerals and a higher placement of the number 9 in the date, while the large date variety has thicker, more robust numerals and a lower placement of the 9. What makes the 1960 D small date variety particularly valuable is its scarcity in high grades. You see, even though millions were produced, only a tiny handful have survived in near-perfect, untouched condition. Mint state coins, graded MS 66 or higher, are rare, and if you throw in a full red designation, which refers to the original copper luster being preserved, the value skyrockets. And that brings us to the jaw-dropping figure of $87,465. That's the market value one of these coins reached at a public auction, verified and authenticated by top grading agencies like PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service. It was a 1960 D small date Lincoln cent, graded MS 67 RD, meaning mint state 67 with full red color. This level of quality and preservation is so rare that collectors were willing to enter a bidding war just to own a piece of American history in such pristine form. But don't go running to your coin jar just yet, because identifying a 1960 D small date penny isn't easy. The differences between the small date and large date can be tricky to spot, especially if the coin is circulated and worn down over time. The best way to confirm what you have is to use a high-powered magnifier and compare it to verified images from trusted numismatic sources. You want to focus on the shape and alignment of the number 9, the thickness of the number 6, and the overall sharpness of the date. Even circulated examples can carry some value. But the real money is in those mint state coins with sharp details and blazing original color. And if you're lucky enough to find a double die variety, where the date or other elements appear doubled due to a minting error, then you might be looking at an even more valuable coin. Now here's something most people don't realize. Some collectors specifically search through rolls of uncirculated 1960 D pennies in hopes of finding that one gem, an untouched, red luster, small date specimen hiding in plain sight. This is what's known as cherry picking in the coin world, and it's how many experts build valuable collections without spending a fortune. So, what's the takeaway? The 1960 D Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like an ordinary coin to the untrained eye, but for those who know what to look for, it's a golden, or should we say copper, opportunity. If you're lucky enough to own a 1960 D penny, take a closer look. If it's a small date in superb condition and possibly even uncirculated, you might be holding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. And here's the kicker, the market is still strong. With more collectors entering the hobby and fewer high-grade coins being discovered, the value of rare Lincoln cents like the 1960 D continues to climb. That $87,000 sale might not be the highest forever. We could very well see six-figure sales in the near future. So check your change, dig into your coin rolls, and visit your local coin dealer or grading service if you think you've got a winner. You never know, your 1 cent penny might be worth more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1960 D Lincoln penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on future episodes where we explore more rare and valuable coins hiding in everyday life. Until next time, happy collecting, and may the next coin in your hand be worth a fortune. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today's video is a fascinating journey into the history, rarity, and incredible market value of one particular coin that has caught the attention of collectors and investors around the world. We're talking about the 1963 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. That's right, this small copper coin, which many might overlook as just another penny, could actually be worth as much as $82,465 in today's coin market. Stay tuned as we explore exactly why this coin is worth so much, what makes it rare, and how you can potentially spot one in your collection. Let's begin with a bit of background on the Lincoln 1-cent penny. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular-issue United States coin to feature a real person's face. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin features a right-facing portrait of President Lincoln. Over the years, the design has undergone several changes, but the classic look has remained largely the same. Now let's fast forward to the year 1963. The Denver Mint was in full operation and struck more than 1 billion Lincoln cents that year. Specifically, the 1963 D penny refers to those coins minted in Denver, identified by the small letter D located just below the date on the front of the coin. Because of the massive production numbers, most people assume that 1963 D pennies are extremely common and not valuable. And for the most part, that's true, unless you find a rare and highly sought-after error or a coin in pristine condition that sets it apart from the rest. So why would a 1963 D Lincoln penny be worth over $82,000? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and sometimes even a minting error. In the world of numismatics, which is the study and collection of coins, certain conditions drastically increase a coin's value. For example, if a 1963 D penny is found in mint state condition, especially in a high grade such as MS-67 or higher, its value skyrockets. These coins are nearly flawless and retain their original luster as if they were just struck yesterday. Because so many coins from that era were circulated and damaged over time, finding one in perfect condition is extremely rare. But what really makes the news are those 1963 D pennies with major errors. These can include double die obverse, off-center strikes, die breaks, or repunched mint marks. Error coins are highly collectible because they're one-of-a-kind mistakes that slipped through quality control. For example, a 1963 D penny with a strong double die or a dramatic off-center strike can easily command thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Combine that with a high mint state grade, and suddenly you have a coin worth more than a brand new car. The specific coin that recently sold for $82,465 was a 1963 D Lincoln cent in nearly perfect condition, authenticated and graded by a top-tier grading company such as PCGS or NGC. Its stunning preservation, combined with eye-catching luster and extremely rare characteristics, made it a record-breaking sale. Collectors from around the world competed for this unique piece of American history, driving the price up to an astonishing level. Now you may be wondering, how can I find one of these valuable coins? The good news is that they're out there. You could have one sitting in a jar of spare change, tucked away in a coin collection, or passed down from a family member. The key is to carefully examine your 1960 3D pennies. Look for coins with a bright, shiny surface and minimal scratches or marks. Use a magnifying glass or microscope to spot unusual features, such as doubling in the lettering or date, or any unusual die cracks or repunching around the mint mark. If you believe you've found a promising coin, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Grading companies like PCGS or NGC will assess the coin's condition and determine its authenticity. A high grade from one of these organizations can significantly increase the coin's market value and make it more appealing to serious collectors and investors. Let's talk a bit more about the coin market and why prices like $82,465 are possible. Over the past several years, demand for rare and vintage coins has increased dramatically. With economic uncertainty and growing interest in tangible assets, many investors have turned to rare coins as a store of value and a way to diversify their portfolios. Combine that with the fact that rare coins like the 1960 3D Lincoln penny are finite in number, and you get a classic case of supply and demand. As fewer perfect specimens are available, their value naturally rises. Another important point is historical significance. The Lincoln penny is not just a piece of currency, it represents over a century of American history. The Denver Mint itself has played a major role in American coin production, and coins bearing the D Mint mark often carry a special appeal. The craftsmanship, the historical design, and the stories behind these coins all add to their value in the eyes of collectors. To wrap things up, the 1963 D Mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny may look like an ordinary coin, but under the right conditions, it could be worth a fortune. Whether it's due to an extremely high mint state grade, a dramatic minting error, or a unique combination of both, this coin has made headlines for selling at over $82,465. It's a powerful reminder that treasure can sometimes be hiding in plain sight. Make sure to check your coins carefully. You never know what rare gems you might uncover. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, how to identify them, and where to sell them for top dollar, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting! Welcome back to the channel where we explore the rarest and most valuable coins hiding in plain sight, sometimes even in your pocket change. Today's video is all about one of the most surprising and valuable pennies in the world. We're talking about the legendary 1970 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You heard that right. A penny. Just 1 cent. But it's not just any penny. It's a coin that could be worth up to $68,326 in today's market. That's right. One tiny copper coin from 1970 that might be sitting in a jar in your kitchen or tucked away in an old coin album could be worth more than a brand new luxury car. How did a 1-cent coin from 1970 become worth over $68,000? What makes this particular penny so incredibly rare and valuable? And how can you tell if the one you have might be worth a fortune? Let's dive into the history, the details, and the exciting possibilities surrounding the 1970 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. To understand why this coin is so special, we first need to take a quick look at the Lincoln cent series. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular-issue United States coin to feature a real person's portrait. The original design by Victor David Brenner had Lincoln on the obverse side and 2 wheat ears on the reverse, which is why those early pennies are known as wheat cents. Then in 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and the 50th anniversary of the Lincoln cent, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. That design continued until 2008. Now, fast forward to 1970. Most Lincoln pennies from that year were minted in either Philadelphia, San Francisco, or Denver. Coins minted in San Francisco carry the S mint mark. Those from Denver have a D mint mark. And coins from Philadelphia usually have no mint mark at all, which is why this one is called a no mint mark coin. But what makes this particular 1970 no mint mark penny so rare is not just the missing mint mark. That's actually normal for Philadelphia coins. What sets this one apart is a combination of errors, variations, and, in some cases, a very special double die obverse. Some of these rare 1970 no mint mark Lincoln cents show strong doubling in the words Liberty and In God We Trust, and also in the date 1970. This doubling happens during the minting process when the coin die strikes the coin more than once, but is misaligned during the strikes. This creates a visible doubling of the design, which is easy to spot with the naked eye or under a magnifying glass. These coins are called double die pennies, and they are extremely popular with collectors. But even among double die pennies, the 1970 no mint mark is one of the most desirable. Why? Because it's rare. Very few of these coins were produced, and even fewer were released into circulation. Most people who found them had no idea what they were holding. That's why so many of them have been lost, spent, or forgotten over time. Today, finding a genuine 1970 no mint mark Lincoln cent with a double die obverse in excellent condition is like finding treasure. It is truly the holy grail for penny collectors. So what about the value? Why is one of these pennies worth over $68,000? The value comes from a few key factors. First, rarity. There just aren't many of these coins around, especially in uncirculated or high mint state condition. Second, condition. The coin that sold for $68,326 was in near perfect condition, graded by a professional grading service. Third, the strength of the doubling and the clarity of the strike. The better the doubling appears and the clearer the coin's features, the more valuable it becomes. In auctions and private sales, these coins continue to draw major attention. Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for high-grade specimens. And as more people get interested in coin collecting and numismatics, the value of rare coins like this continues to rise. It's not just a piece of copper. It's history, it's rarity, and it's a symbol of hidden value. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these coins? The first step is to check the date. Look for a 1970 Lincoln penny with no mint mark under the date. That indicates it was struck in Philadelphia. Next, examine the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date itself. If you see any signs of doubling, especially strong doubling that's clearly visible, you might be holding a very valuable coin. But of course, to be sure, you'll want to have the coin examined by a professional grading service such as PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate the coin and assign a grade based on its condition, which will help determine its market value. Even if your coin isn't worth tens of thousands of dollars, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands if it's a genuine error coin in decent condition. And here's something else to think about. Not all valuable 1970 Lincoln pennies have to be double die errors. Some have other unique characteristics, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or other minting mistakes. These kinds of errors can also command significant prices, depending on how dramatic they are and the coin's condition. So the next time you come across a jar of old pennies, take a closer look. That ordinary-looking 1970 penny with no mint mark might just be a hidden gem. A simple coin that most people would overlook could be your ticket to a small fortune. And remember, the value of coins like this isn't just monetary. It's a connection to history, to craftsmanship, and to the thrill of the hunt. If you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on rare and valuable coins. We have new videos coming every week, helping you identify the coins that are worth big money and could be hiding right in your collection. And if you think you've got a rare 1970 penny or any other unusual coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about it and maybe even feature it in an upcoming video. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy coin hunting! Hello, and welcome back to the channel where we uncover hidden treasures that could be sitting right inside your pocket change. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1972 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This isn't just any old coin. This penny, if you have the right one, could be worth an astonishing $94,286. Yes, you heard that right. One penny that most people would overlook could be a life-changing find. So stay tuned as we explore its history, why it's so valuable, and what to look for if you think you might have one. Let's begin with a little history. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, was first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person, and it was designed by Victor David Brenner. The design has changed slightly over the years, but the obverse has always featured the portrait of President Lincoln. By 1972, the Lincoln penny had already been in production for over 6 decades. But that year, something unusual happened at the Denver Mint. While hundreds of millions of pennies were struck, a very small number were produced with characteristics that have made them extremely rare and extremely valuable. The 1972 D Lincoln penny refers to a coin minted at the Denver Mint, which is signified by the small letter D located just below the date on the obverse side of the coin. Over 2.6 billion Lincoln pennies were minted in Denver that year, but not all of them are worth money. So what makes a 1972 D penny worth over $94,000? There are a few key factors that determine the value of this coin. First and foremost is condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless coin with no signs of wear or damage. The 1972 D penny that sold for $94,286 was in mint state condition, meaning it looked like it had just come off the press with an almost perfect grade. The coin was preserved in such pristine condition that it stood out from nearly every other 1972 D penny ever made, but there's more to the story. The real value in this coin comes from a rare error or variation during the minting process. While most people think of a penny as being copper, the U.S. Mint was in the process of changing the metal composition during the early 1970s. Although the official transition to a copper-plated zinc composition didn't occur until 1982, test strikes and experimental planchets were sometimes used earlier. Some experts believe that a very small number of 1972 D pennies may have been struck on experimental or transitional planchets, giving them a different weight or appearance that sets them apart from the norm. Another reason collectors go crazy over this coin is the potential for a doubled die error. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin is improperly manufactured, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. In some rare cases, the date, the word liberty, or the phrase "In God We Trust" can be visibly doubled. These doubling errors are extremely rare and can dramatically increase the value of the coin. While the most famous double die penny is the 1972 No Mint Mark from Philadelphia, some 1972 D pennies also have minor doubling or other striking anomalies that make them highly collectible. Now let's talk about that eye-popping value. A 1972 D Lincoln penny in mint state condition with the right error, rarity, and visual appeal was sold at auction for an incredible $94,286. The auction attracted serious collectors and numismatic experts who recognized the coin's uniqueness and rarity. This isn't a one-off story either. High-grade Lincoln pennies from various years have been known to fetch tens of thousands of dollars, especially when they are error coins, experimental strikes, or preserved in pristine condition. You might be wondering how you can tell if your 1972 D penny is worth anything. The first step is to look at the overall condition of the coin. Is it shiny? Are the details crisp and clear? Is there any visible doubling of the text or date? Next, weigh the coin. A standard 1972 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's noticeably lighter or heavier, you might have something special. Finally, if you believe you have a rare or valuable penny, consider having it professionally graded by a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations specialize in authenticating and grading coins and can give you an official certificate that helps determine the market value. Let's talk a little bit about the current market. Rare coins, especially Lincoln pennies with historical or error-based significance, are experiencing a surge in collector demand. As more people become aware of the hidden value of everyday coins, competition has increased and prices have gone up. Coins like the 1972 D penny are part of a wave of collectibles that are gaining traction not only as a hobby but as investment assets. With the current market value set at $94,286 for a high-grade example, it's no wonder coin hunters, metal detectorists, and everyday pocket change enthusiasts are taking a closer look at every penny they come across. So, what should you do now? Check your change. Go through your old coin jars. Look in drawers, piggy banks, and anywhere else you might have stashed spare change. Pay special attention to 1972 D pennies and inspect them carefully under a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. If something looks off or unique, don't throw it away. You might be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. Remember, not every 1972 D penny is worth big money, but a rare few are. And with the current market value topping $94,000, it's absolutely worth taking the time to look. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about coin values, the story of the 1972 D Lincoln penny is a perfect reminder that history, rarity, and a little bit of luck can combine to turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos on rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in plain sight. Turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to discover your next big find. Have a coin you want us to cover next? Drop it in the comments and we might feature it in an upcoming episode. Until next time, happy hunting and may your next penny be worth a fortune. Hello, and welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures right from your pocket change. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video that could potentially change your financial future. Today's episode is something truly special and exciting. We are uncovering the astonishing story behind the legendary 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny and how this tiny copper coin, often overlooked, could be worth an unbelievable $34,952 in today's coin market. Yes, you heard that right. One single penny, specifically a 1976 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, has been appraised and sold for an extraordinary price of $34,952. So, what makes this coin so incredibly valuable? Why would anyone pay nearly $35,000 for a coin that originally cost just 1 cent? Let's dig into the history, the details, the rarity, and what you need to look for to determine if the penny in your possession could be hiding a small fortune. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This coin was designed by Victor David Brenner and marked a major shift in American coinage as it was the first regular issue coin to feature a real historical figure. For decades, collectors and historians alike have followed the changes, the minting errors, and the low-minted years that have made certain Lincoln cents highly collectible and extremely valuable. Now fast forward to the year 1976. This year holds a special place in American history as it marked the bicentennial of the United States. While the penny did not receive a special bicentennial design like the quarter, half-dollar, or dollar coin, something very unusual occurred in that year that made certain pennies stand out. That something is the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny without a mint mark. Typically, coins minted in Philadelphia do not bear a mint mark, which means finding a penny from 1976 without a mint mark is not immediately unusual. However, the story gets more interesting when we consider mint errors, high-grade preservation, and unique die variations. What makes the 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth nearly $35,000 is a combination of factors including its condition, its rarity, and most importantly, its grade. One of the most expensive 1976 no-mint mark pennies ever sold was graded MS-67 red by a professional coin grading service. In the coin grading scale, MS stands for mint state, and a grade of 67 out of a maximum of 70 means that the coin is in nearly flawless condition with sharp detail, beautiful luster, and no visible scratches or blemishes to the naked eye. Only a handful of 1976 pennies have achieved such a high grade, making them exceptionally rare and incredibly valuable in the collector's market. But that's not all. Some of these coins may also contain striking errors, die cracks, or doubling that went unnoticed during the minting process. For example, if your 1976 no mint mark penny has clear signs of doubling on the date or on the words Liberty or In God We Trust, then you might have a doubled die error, which can increase the value of your coin substantially. Combine that with a high mint state grade, and you have a coin that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. So, what should you be looking for in your own collection or even in your spare change jar? First, check the date. Look for a 1976 penny without any mint mark below the date. Then examine the coin closely for its condition. The redder and shinier the penny, the higher the chance it could be a high mint state example. Next, inspect it under a magnifying glass or microscope for any unusual doubling, cracks, or other errors. If you think your penny has these characteristics, it's time to get it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. The current market value for a top-graded 1976 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny has been recorded at $34,952. That price can fluctuate depending on the auction house, the demand, and the specific features of the coin, but it is absolutely real. Coins like this are not just rare. They are historic and represent a unique moment in minting quality and collector demand. Collectors from all over the world are constantly searching for coins in pristine condition and with unique features that make them stand out. A single high-grade coin can sometimes break previous auction records, especially when certified and accompanied by a full grading report. The 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a common coin can become a high-value collectible if preserved well and authenticated properly. And here's the most important takeaway. These valuable coins are out there. People find them in old jars, forgotten piggy banks, inherited coin collections, or even in rolls of pennies purchased from the bank. The key is awareness. Knowing what to look for, understanding the grading process, and recognizing the telltale signs of a rare coin could lead you to your own discovery. One that might just be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Before you toss your change into the vending machine or let it collect dust in a drawer, take a closer look. That 1976 Lincoln cent without a mint mark might just be the hidden gem that turns your ordinary day into a treasure hunt jackpot. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow collectors or friends, and leave a comment below telling us if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos about coin history, rare penny values, and the tips and tools you need to become a successful coin treasure hunter. This is your host signing off and reminding you, keep checking your change. You never know when a small copper coin might bring you a big surprise.